and welcome to Code with Petit Pois. In this tutorial, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a digital store using Astro.js and Strapi. This is what we're going to be creating. It's called Prompt Garden or something similar, and it's going to be an AI prompt digital store. So we're going to have an array, a list of prompts. You can sell, you can become a seller. When you click on the prompt, you have all the information about it, preview what it looks like, and have the reviews. We're going to have an add to cart, wish list, etc. And you'll be able to pay using Stripe. So we're going to be storing most of the assets in using Strapi. So we basically create a backend using Strapi, which is a headless CMS, as we can see here. And that's what we'll be creating today. So we'll start off by we'll start off with the back end, and then we will create this front end. So this is Lovable that I'm using here, just a simple prompt I used. Create a digital marketplace for selling AI prompts. Just the UI first, and I'll add a Stripe payment afterwards, and it modeled it after Gumroad or Etsy product hunt. So that's what it's using as inspiration. So now we can start the project. Okay, so when we look at Strapi, all we have to do to start is use this prompt here. So I'm going to copy that. And I've got Visual Studio Code, and I have a folder called Prompt Store, and I have two folders inside, one called Backend, one called Frontend. And if we look at the terminal, we're actually going to cd into the backend. So we're just going into the backend, and we're going to paste that prompt. So it's going to spin up a Strapi instance for us. And while that's doing that, we will carry on taking a look at the documentation. So this is a good way of learning any new product, is looking at their documentation. So obviously this is what we've done. Okay, so now we've got the name of our Strapi project. We're going to call it Prompt Store. It's going to give us a free account on Strapi Cloud. We can log in, sign up, or we can skip. So I think it's a 14-day trial, and then it changes. So we're going to skip for now. We're going to say yes. Our default database is SQLite. Start with an example, structure and data, and say yes. TypeScript is fine. NPM is fine. And no, we're not going to do the Git repository. So it's going to give us as you can see here, it's created everything for us. So we've got this example, and everything's installing there for us. So now we want to create what's called collection types. And obviously when we look at this prompt, we want to have obviously the title, we want to have the description, we want to have who created it, we want to have maybe the tags and the price. So that's what we're going to be doing once this is all loaded up. That's what we will look at. So yeah, I'll come back when everything is everything is done. Don't even need to come back. So everything is there, and it says in order to start, we're going to run this command, npm run develop. So npm run develop. Oops. Okay, so we actually created the project, and we're using the free Strapi Cloud account, and we signed in and activated the code, and we said yes to SQLite, no to the sample data, yes to TypeScript, and it's installed in npm, and that's what we got now. Okay. Okay, I see. Run develop. So now it's loading everything. And here we have our admin dashboard. And I'm going to fill this out and come back. So here we are inside our Strapi instance. And we've got, this is the dashboard. And we're going to go to content structure. And we're going to build the collection type. So it gives us one by default, which is user, but we want a new one. And this is going to be prompt. And we're going to take a look at what we needed again. So we want a title. So the first one will be title. There'll be a short text. Another one will be description. And that'll be a long text. We want a number for the price. And we want to have an author, or yeah, so author, or yeah, the author is good. What else do we want? We want to have the actual content. So we're going to maybe use rich text and say content. And we're also going to add date and say created. We're just going to choose a date here. And we're going to say finish. And we're going to save. And we've created a backend for our prompt gallery. So this is the structure of our prompt. So if we wanted to actually create one, you can always obviously add more fields if you want, but then way to create one. I'm sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do in this, what we're going to do now is actually work out what we need on the back end before, and then we'll work on the front end afterwards to connect it all together. So when we think about the actual prompt itself, you obviously have the title, who it's from, what it does, or how to use it. You have the price, and you might even have categories here when it was created. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Strapi. Now Strapi is a headless CMS. It's very easy to use. Developers love it. Makes, like it says, makes API creation easy. It supports all the networks, so it's very easy to add to our project, our Astro.js project. And when you click Get Started, it takes you to this page. And we're basically going to follow this section here and basically create our project. So we have to run this this command. We're going to sign up for the free cloud account for 14 days, and then we are going to make our collection types. Okay, so let's do that now. So I have my project opened in Visual Studio Code. So it's just two empty folders, one called backend and one called frontend. Like I said, we're going to work on the backend. The whole folder is called prompt store. And we're going to cd into the backend. And then we're going to run this command. And we're going to change the project to prompt backend. Say yes, and here we go. So it's going to install Strapi for us, and I might even just add a text file. So we said we wanted a title, we wanted a description, we wanted an author, created, and we wanted a category or tag. And let's take a look again. What else did we want? Oh, price, of course. We wanted a price. This gives us an idea of what we want. Right, so I'm gonna log in. And I'm gonna do that offline. I'm already logged in, as it shows here. So it says, do you want to use the default database? We say yes. We say no to the sample data. Yes, TypeScript is fine. And NPM is good. I'm going to say no for the Git repository for now, but you can say yes if you wanted to. We can always do that later. This will just get us up and running. So yeah, so what this is kind of the structure we want. We want this to be obviously a string. This is a long string, date, number, we might have another collection type, and it will link to category. Okay, so those work together, or link to tags. I think category is better, so let's go category, and that will be the title. So that's kind of what we want. So now that we've done that, we can cd into prompt backend, and then say npm run develop, and that should take us into our Strapi instance on the web. It should open automatically, and you can create your. So we're at this stage now. Where are we? We're at this stage here. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to say full stack developer and say excellent. So we can build the content structure, create content, etc. So you could obviously follow the tour, but we're not going to do that. Create content. Okay. So this is what you get. We are going to go to content manager, and we're going to go collection types. And by default, it gives you a user, so it gives you an idea of, you get, if you look at the collection type, content type builder, and you look at user, this is what a user is. It has a username, email, provider, all of that. So that's kind of like the structure of what a user will need, or would be. And we're going to create a new one, and we're going to call it prompt. And we set text, title, and it's going to be a short text, which is best for titles, names, etc. And then we're going to add another field, and we said we want an author. And we add another field. We said we want long text. Yeah, so this was description. We could also use Markdown for the actual content of the prompt. We want the date for created, just the date. And we want a number for the price. And we want it to be decimal. Actually, no, we want it to be a big integer. You know what? We'll leave it at decimal for now. Yeah. And then yes, we want to stop here for now. And what we will do, we will save it. And so far, so we actually have the content, which is a rich text or markdown. Okay. Then we want to now create, awesome. Well, we refresh this and see we have prompt. We want a new collection type, and we want to call it category. And again, like we said, we want it to be a title. We'll put short text, that's fine. Finish and save. And what we're going to do now is connect the two. So similar to how this is created, we're kind of following a similar structure here, where we create a category with a name field. We called it title, but it's the same thing. And we're going to say category belongs to many restaurants. So yeah, we need to edit that. So we need to edit. We go to advanced settings. Sorry. Collection type, category, that's right. Sorry, what did you say? Type name in the name field. Cancel. I want to edit the actual area. This is it. So required, and we want to make sure that it's where do we want to go? We want it to be relation, is it? Okay. So relation field, prompt. Prompt has many categories. This is what we want here. Okay. So I'm going to finish that, and then in the prompt, I want to save that. We want to have the category name here. You can see by doing that, it added a categories section here to the prompt. So I've gone back in and changed the titles here to lowercase. And I've also changed them all to required field by changing the advanced settings except for the created. I've also made another collection type called customer, which takes the email, password, name, and avatar. And we're going to create a new collection type called author. And we want to basically have, we want to have their author name. We want to have their avatar, and we want it to be a user. Authors and belongs to many users. No. Author has one user. Field name. And we're going to finish that. And so we have the, we also want to have, let's have the email as well. Go back. Want the email here. Want it to be required, unique, and finish. Okay, so the author will have the email, avatar, and name. We could actually just put name instead of author name. Author so has name, avatar, and user's permission. Save. So oops, sorry, 1 second. Sometimes it cuts out for a second. So alright. So we have the category customer. I'm going to change this to name as well. So the customer has an email, password, name, and avatar. And the category, let that restart. So basically create an API endpoint so we can get customer names, prompts, and the user. Okay, so we've got all of that. So the author has name, avatar, user's permission, and email. The category has the name and the prompt relation. The customer has the email, password, name, avatar. You could use that as well to say orders. So you could have a list of orders, a relation of all the orders that they purchase. This is the prompt. This is the user. And if we have a new connection type saying orders or order, and it basically has no, it's not author, it's prompt. As many orders. Yep, that's it. So then you could go into customer. Oops, can save that. So basically, we also need to know the customer, and yeah, order belongs to many customers. Yeah, that's fine. And we can go to, if you go to customer now, save that and let it restart. So this is basically to keep track of all the orders, etc. We go to customer now, has this relation with order. The order has the prompt, etc., etc. So it goes back and forth. So lastly, what we're going to do now is take a look at the roles and permissions, which is the next thing here. So under permissions, you want to choose roles, which we're here, and in the permissions, we want to click the public role. So click on public, and we want to find all the prompts. Let's go to prompts, and we want to say find and find one, and we want the orders as well to be, sorry, the categories as well to be find and find one, and save. Okay, now if we go back to roles and we go to authenticated, if you're authenticated, you can create, actually you can do everything with the author, you can do everything with the category, you can't do, you can look up customers, and you can look up orders, and you can create, you can do everything with prompts. Okay, and we can save that. So, if you are a normal user, actually you can find authors, you can find categories, can't find customers, you can't see any customers there, and you can't see any orders because you're not logged in, but you can read the prompts. Okay, you can save that. So if we look here, that's what we've done. And now we can create an entry. So if we go to, let's create some content. Let's go to an author. I'm going to create a new entry, and I'm going to say Petit Pois. And I'm going to say what is this? Prompt user at prompt.com. I don't need, I'm going to click publish because I didn't say the avatar was absolutely necessary. And if we look at authors, here we go, I have a published entry. So we do the same with a category. And if we look at our lovable, we had, if we go to home, we've got writing, art, business. Okay, so we can create a new entry and say writing. Art. What was the other one? Business, marketing, development. Okay, business, marketing, development, education. Okay, development, education, and productivity. Okay, so if we look at our collection now, oops, content manager, category, oh, okay, I was overwriting it, save, publish, new entry, education, save, publish. So there we go. So this is what we have. And we have another one, let's say art, save, publish. And there we go. So we have all of the, and we're going to say marketing and business. Okay. Let's add a new one. Marketing, save, publish, and business. Save and publish. Okay. So that's what we have, and that is all we've got here. And now we can go to a prompt, and let's create prompt. And we're going to say it's related to you know what, actually there's one more category I want to add, and I want to say tools. Yeah, and then we're going to get to a prompt, say create new, and I'm actually going to Control-C, Control-V as the actual content description. So the title is Digital Lovable, Digital Marketplace, author, petit pois, relation, tools, and the author needs to be related to this author. So let's, before we do that, let's go back. Yeah, let's confirm. So if we go to the prompt, we go to the prompt, yeah, that's right. Go to the settings. Where are we? Content manager. So prompt. We don't want to, content type builder, that's what we want. Go to the prompt, and we're going to change the author here. We're actually going to delete that, and we're going to add it again, but we want to make sure the prompt has one author, yeah. Author has many prompts, yeah, that's what we want. No. So here we go. So the relation is author has many prompts. It's fine. Save that. So basically let me refresh itself. So we have the author here. I'm actually going to delete this. We're just going to keep that just as it is. And the category, I'm going to save that. And okay, so if we go to home, content manager, we still have the author there. And we have all the categories. And this is the prompt now. Let's create the prompt. So the author is Petit Pois. The category is tools. The title is prompt marketplace. Description, create the UI for a prompt gallery marketplace. Yeah, and then this is all I put in the this is all I put in the prompt, and the price is 0 for now, and there's no relations right now. There's no orders. Okay, we click save, and then we click publish. So we look at the prompt, and here it is. Create the UI for a prompt gallery marketplace. Okay, so then I can look at my other projects on Lovable. And let me do this is what I did for a different project. Copy that. And I'm going to create a new prompt, same author. And this is AI emoji website with AI. The relation is, again, it's tools. This is the actual prompt. And this is the one page, create a one page movie application where the user can input a movie, one page emoji quiz application. So we're going to say tools, that's fine, and say save. And what we could do with the category, we can even add a category and say lovable. We can actually change that there and save it, publish. So if we look at the prompt, it's still in the draft, we didn't publish it, so it's under tools and it's also got lovable as the prompt. So there we go. So we have a few categories, we have one author, and we have a couple of prompts there with a description. And then so now if we take a look here, it says if we use the API, we're going to get that's what we get back. So let's see if we can test this. So overview, the roles, we did that, that's fine. So let's see if we can get the prompts now. Find. So this is what we want to do. /API/prompts. So let's do that now. So what I've done, I stopped the server and I said npm run strapi deploy, and I made sure I followed the prompts here where it says the name of your project, Node.js version, etc. And now it's going to upload it to Strapi Cloud, and then we can test the API. So I'm just following the documentation here. Deploy to Strapi Cloud. And yeah, we're basically doing this, answer the questions, and it's going to give me a clickable link, and then I can log into that. Okay, so this is the backend running on Strapi, the production. Still building. And once it's done, we can check that out. But there you go. This is the API will be running on this. So here we go. It's deploying. This is where it's going to deploy to, and I will be able to say API / prompts, and it will be able to give me those prompts once it's all deployed and everything. So we'll come back when it is deployed. So here we are. Obviously it didn't save everything I did locally, so we'll have to do that again. But this is everything running actually on the cloud. So let's start this again, and we'll just add a name. And this is just info@prompts.com. We'll save and publish it, and then we'll do the category. This time we're actually going to do lovable, and we're going to do bolt, and we're going to do art, and we're going to do business, and we're going to do as well something like writing. I mean, obviously you can add all that you want. That's just to give us an idea. And now we're going to add a new entry for prompts, and this is going to be movie website. So movie. Okay, the UI for a movie website similar to TMD. So using TMDB API, and the prompt is this here, and the price is 0, the category is lovable, the author is petit pois, and there's no relation yet. No one's ordered it, and I publish it. Another one, and we're going to say this one is the emoji quiz app. And if I go to my lovable dashboard, oh, that's the prompt garden, that's not the one. So it was here. Control C, Control V is the whole thing. It's a emoji maker. Sorry, make emojis from movie titles. Okay, so that's that. There's actually more that I did further down, so I will just add all of that in. Even added this one here. Okay. Save and publish. Okay, so I'm going to actually change the price to 99p. Category lovable, and author is published. I publish that. And I'll do one more. I'll do the prompt for this specific project that we're looking at now. And this one is digital marketplace UI. AI digital marketplace. And we're going to say the price is 0. Actually, I'm going to say the price is, I don't know, $1.99 for example. We'll say lovable. No orders yet, and the author is Petit Pois. Alright, we'll save, publish. So now we want to make sure that the settings haven't changed, so let's just double check that. So this is the public, so you should be able to find one, the prompts, find one, and the authors find one. Okay, that should be good, so we save that. Now go back to the roles and go to authenticated, and we should be able to create, if we're authenticated, yeah, we can delete our own ID. We can create categories. We should be able to find customers and find orders. We can create, upload, edit and delete. We can change our password. Yeah, we can find ourselves. Okay, so that's all good. So we save. Excellent. So that's everything done on the back end. So now, if we want to find, we take this specific and we say API/prompts, and we're going to say preprint, and we have the 3 prompts there on the back end ready for us to access on the front end. And we say the same for categories. We say yep, we get all the categories, and we say authors. Yes, we even have the authors. Okay, so that's everything created on the back end. As you can see here, we can't see the author. So what we might need to do is make sure that we say, yeah, so it's the prompt and then we have this, populate equals start, and we get absolutely everything, who the prompt was made by, etc, etc. Okay, so now we're going to look into, this is part 2 of the digital marketplace with Astro. This is where we're actually going to start using Astro. We're going to use this new Sessions API as well for adding to cart and things. But by first we're going to use this npm create Astro at latest. So I'm inside my terminal and I went inside the front end section and we're going to say enter. And it's going to create, we're just going to create, use an empty, actually we'll use the basic starter template, say yes to everything. And get that built. So once everything's built, it will give us a basic components and everything. And we will take a look and see, it's usually on this once we run it. So we'll let the project initialize and we will come back when it's done. Okay, so it's done and we can run npm run dev and we should be able to see it here. That's what we got, and we're going to go to Tailwind because we're going to use some components from Tailwind UI. Let's go back to Lovable to show what we're making. So yeah, we're gonna do that. So in order to install Tailwind, we need to add this to the TS config. So we'll do that first. TS config, here we are. Now we say npx Tailwind at latest. Here we are. So we'll cancel that and init that. So this will add Tailwind and it also adds Tailwind to the project. So we say yes. We're going to go with Stone npm. We'll install Tailwind as well, and installs Tailwind Forms, Tailwind Animate, etc. Installs everything. So still, once we have that created, we're going to use the card and the button for first off. So we'll do the button first, and then you'll see how easy it is to have a style button straight away. We'll also, if you notice here, in the prompt guide, and when we click on an actual prompt, it has these tabs, and that is this right here. So it's modeled off of the Shad CN, which is what Lovable uses as well. So as you can see, we have the tab feature, so we could replicate that. So let's see what we got. Okay, so that's good. So we'll run the dev again. Actually, before we do, we'll run the dev and then we'll just add another PowerShell, and we will take the button. Yeah, we'll copy this command and we'll add the button to the project. And don't know why it's saying that. Oh, okay. Let's start again. So let's open the terminal. Okay, npm run dev. Oh, am I in the right place? Oh, I'm not in the front end, sorry. Should have made sure of that. cd front end. There we go, sorry. Now I can add the button. It's all trial and error. Okay, so that's all added to the front end. So if we look at the index page, we just right now got the welcome. And we want it to look similar to what we have on the home page here. So we'll copy all of this. But if we actually look at the code, we can actually see what's being used. So it's using a hero. So we can look at the components hero. And this is everything in the hero section. So we can copy it from here all the way down. Now this is using React, and obviously we're using Astro. So I will show you what we have to do. We basically have to rename. So we can say Control F2, and we just change it to class instead of class name. We'll remove the search bar because we don't need that right now. And the button, remember we just imported that, so we can import the button from Tailwind. So now if we say npm run dev and we take a look, oh, there's one thing we need to add. Make sure that in the layout we're actually importing the Tailwind CSS, otherwise we won't get the @/styles/Tailwind CSS. This is what we need, and that should add the styles for us. And there we go. We have exactly what we have here. With the buttons and everything. So see if we've got that's all good. So now we can take a look and see if we close that now, and the index. So again, we've got featured prompts, and then we've got this area here. So again, the only thing we really need is to change this from class to class name. So what we'll do, go to the index page and Control F2, and then we make sure we say class. And okay, so this one actually has a few more things we need to change. We don't have a key here, and we don't have arrow right. So become a seller, we'll just remove that. And it should be fine. So we should have everything. Excellent. So now we need to look at the prompt card. So this is exactly what we actually need. So it's importing badge, card, content, and we're not going to use that, but that's so what we could do, we could basically copy the whole thing and we can make our own component. So let's go to components, and we create, and we'll call it prompt card.astro. Put everything in here apart from the link. We'll remove the link because we don't need that in there we go, just removing all of that. And we're going to change that to astro.props. And we're going to say const, yeah, that's right. Change that for now, and we want to make sure that we put all of that inside of the front meta. So we've got that. So we need to import these as well. So if we go to Tailwind, we've got card. So we need to just say import. Make sure we cd into front end, and we add card, and we also add badge. So take a look here. Where's badge? So we add badge here. Okay. So we do that. Alright. So that's fine. So there's add components. So make sure we update this. We're going to change this interface to alright, so we updated that. Let's close all and open the prompt. Okay, so there's an issue. Okay, so for now it's not getting our inputs right now. So let's see if we can. Maybe we should stop it and start again. Because we have that here, and it's the same in the index page here. We need to put Tailwind. That's fine. That's the difference. Alright, so that's right. And then again, control F2. And we'd say class, which is great. Alright, so now we have our prompt card. So if we take a look again at what Lovable created for us, that was the prompt card, that's the component, and in the index, in the, where is it? Pages here, index here. We're getting a component called featured prompts. Okay, so this is what we want, featured prompts. And this is some prompt data. So we'll also, we will also copy this, and I will copy the sample prompts data here. We'll see. And for now, we'll just put it in index at the top here. we copied this prompt data, and we will use what they've used, which is very similar to what we would do in Astro. We will remove obviously the filter that we don't need, but just before we have everything about the prompts, discover right here. So this is where we want to add our featured, and again Control F2, change that to class, and we're not going to show the filter, and filtered prompts. Okay, so that's basically this here. At the top we say prompts equals prompts prompt featured, right? So featured equals true, featured equals true, etc. So these are some prompts that are featured and some that are not. So that's basically what this will do. And if we take a look at our we have to, oops. So title is not defined. Okay, I see. We get rid of this. And we will say featured prompts. Okay. See if that works. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay. We'll save that. Oh, we have to import the prompt card. Make sure we do that. Alright. So that should be everything. Get rid of the key. We don't have a key. And everything should be working now. So here we are. We have two prompts. And each prompt, actually we want to do something with the prompt card. We want to wrap it actually in an A tag. And what we will do, what that will do will be a href. For now it's just not going to go anywhere, but what it will do, we will be able to actually click on it and it will take us to a link. So it will give us the thing here. And this is now where we can actually bring in everything from our backend. So we could bring in, this is all dummy data right now, but this could be, we could make a folder called lib, and we could just say prompts.js. Let me just export prompts, and it will take everything that we have here at the top and put it inside of here, and just at the top say export, export prompts data, and then we just want to import prompts data, which is sample data. sorry, make sure it's at lib. The prompts data, that's right. At lib prompts. That's it. Alright. And the Copilot will just clean that up for us. Okay. So nothing should have changed, but we should have a bit more of a... It's pulling the same data, but we're actually making it a little bit easier for it to do so. So if we say here featured true, we should have 3 instead of, yeah, so there we go. So that's a good start. And next what we're going to do is create the page where it's the actual prompt, and this one's featured as well, so we have 4 in a row. There we go. So yeah, so then when you click on it, it will actually go to the page, similar to if we click on this one, we will have this this page here, right? So if we click on this, when it goes to the prompt, we're actually closing all of these because that's been very useful. So now the page is the prompt detail page, and it's just using the sample data here. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of that, Control C, and what we're doing is in pages we will create a new page called new folder called prompt, and a new file called square bracket dot id dot astro, and we will at the top we will have the front letter, and we'll say import, we want badge, and import card, yeah, card content. We want to control F2 and take that to class. So we have author, there's no bio, so I'm going to remove the bio. Oh, we want tabs, there we are, okay. Import tabs. Now we didn't actually install tabs yet, so what we will do, into tabs, and copy the tabs feature here. Make sure we haven't actually done it. No, we didn't yet. So in a new thing, we will cd into front end, and we will install tabs. Okay, so then if we look at the documentation, where is it? Here it is. In order to add it, we just import this, take this, and import it here. Alright. Okay, so we've got everything sort of working, but we just need to actually, as no key, So remove this key and remove that. Again, no key. Oh, we want button and shopping cart. Okay, so button is there. Let's import button. And we don't have the shopping cart, so what we will do, we will remove shopping cart. We'll just say add to cart, it's fine. And we'll remove the odd click as well. We'll remove the heart. And then we'll remove that too. For now, let's just remove that. And we'll remove this share. These are just icons, so they're not really that important. And in the thing here, we have const ID equals use params. That's what we're going to use. And at the top, there we go. It's going to actually be const ID Astro.params. And we're not going to use the is wish listed. We're going to use, we're going to import the prompt data from last time. We just use the first one. Make sure that that's what we're exporting. Oh, it's prompts data. Just returning the first one, or you could return a random one. So we say mathf, and it will just choose a random prompt. We definitely want created because that's something we get back. We definitely want author. And description. And here we go. Yeah, remove the key here. Leave the class. Okay. Categories. Map item. Any. That's fine. And we're just going to actually get a full prompt. So now if we go to the prompt card, we'll say // prompt /ID. So we have to make sure that this is in a backticks and this has a double sign. So now we will take a look, and if we click on it, it will take us to this. Now it's saying this because we need to update the Astro config to say that we want to output this as a server. That way we can have dynamic routes. So if we refresh, click it again. Okay, so we're not getting the categories, which we don't have, etc. So if we go to prompts, we'll just say, oh, it says category, which we want to control F2 and change it to categories. Yep, and see if that makes a difference. Refresh. To be honest, we want to probably add a, okay, let's change this. Control, you know what, we'll just add the brackets here. Very easy. Obviously this is just cosmetic because this is just static right now, but then we will actually make it so that it will be it'll be coming directly from our Strapi CMS. So that's everything. Okay, we don't have benefits either, so let's go to the actual ID and alright, we've removed the reviews, I'll remove the prompt rating, we'll keep the author, and we will remove the benefits. Okay, so prompt the author, why does that not? Control F2, it should be author. Okay. So now we save this. All right. And there's one more thing we're supposed to do before this will work. So import layout. And we want to make sure that we're using the same layout because it's the one that has the Tailwind CSS. So we're going to remove the reviews. Again, there's no key. Prompt preview, that's interesting. So we need to probably add that. Let's add that. Prompt preview. Prompt preview. Prompt preview. And what this is doing, Copilot is just giving us what we need. And we'll just do that for each of them. Obviously, this is just again the back to prompts. Oh, okay, and the back to prompts needs to go to so href equals the main homepage. So if we click on that, excellent. So if we click on this one, I don't know why we've got this huge okay, so this is it. We've got everything that we need. We've got the add to cart, we've got the share button, description, preview, reviews. It all looks good. I've even got a little header section with the 3 items here. This is all hand coded, so we can change that now. So looking at our Strapi, so we've got our Strapi entries here, these 3. So what we're going to do now, we're going to update so that these will reflect this here. So we can do that by populating the prompts that we have here and getting back. This is what we get back. We get all the data back. We get it in a JSON format. And so what we need to do is we just copy this API here and we get everything. So I've created a file called strapi.js and I'm exporting an async function called getPrompts, and I'm using the URL that we copied with our API, and I'm populating it, everything, so I'm getting absolutely everything from it. And then I'm going to await and fetch it, and it should return the JSON. Okay, so then in my index file, we need to accept that's fine. We need to, instead of getting the prompt data from this file, we need to update it. So we're going to remove that for now. Actually, leave it there for a second. We're going to say import get prompts. Okay. So then we're going to say, we're going to get that out, and we're going to say const all prompts equals await.getPrompts. Okay. And we want to change this down here to say all prompts.data, because remember we got a data function, data when we got back. So if we take a look now, we're getting these 3. Okay, this is the by is not working at the moment, but we get these 3 that correspond to these 3 here. Okay, so we're getting the title, etc. And we're getting the author, but we need to go inside and get the author .name. So we can update that. So if we go to prompt.author.name, let's see if that makes a difference. There we go. So there we go, by Petit Pois. I haven't got sales or anything like that, but that is what we're doing. So now we want to, when we click on it, we want to actually get the information that's in our backend. So we'll connect that now. So what we will do, we'll look at our single page. Right now it's got a lot of data. We're getting the Astro params, which is great. So what we will do, we will again create a function inside of this one to get a specific information about a specific prompt. So here we go. This is get prompt with the ID, and we're using the prompts here, and we're saying we just add in this here. Just getting the ID, and it's going to populate that specific ID. So if we save that, we go into this ID here, and we're going to say import get prompt from @lib strapi data, and that's fine, equals get await get prompt ID. This is what we want. Okay, and I'm going to format that, and let's see what we get here. Let's update that, and update that as well. Any of those? Okay, let's see what we get when we click a specific ID. We failed to fetch the prompt. Okay, so it's taking. If we take a look at the index, we make sure that we're getting the ID, because the prompt.id, that's fine. Get rid of this for now. Make sure that we're getting the right ID. So the prompt card takes in the prompt ID, and if we take a look at all prompts, let's see what data we get back. So the ID is 19 or 21. Okay. So we'll take a look here. We've got 6, 3, and 1. So I don't know where it's getting that from. So let's sort that out. Okay. So I've realized the issue. We're not getting this. We need to get the document ID here, because that will return this specific ID. So we want to copy that. And we want to go to the index where we're getting the ID, and we're going to change that to document ID. And if we run this, oops, so I have to cd into the front end. Sorry, I forgot that. Cd front end, and then we say npm run dev. There we go. So if we take a look now, we're still getting the thing, but this time we're getting the actual document ID. So if we click on it, we should be getting information. Okay, so obviously we need to update things, but we're getting exactly what we need. So in the index, we're getting the prompt, the title, where the rating, reviews. So we don't have all of these things. So we're going to remove this. We're going to add author.name, so that we know we're going to get that. Description is description. What's included? We are. I might actually add that to our. Okay, so we're going to add the categories. So we're going to say prompt dot categories like that, and we are going to say category dot name. We're using the badge class, and we're going to say any. So make sure this is in curly braces, and this says any. Okay, so whatever is there. So we said lovable, and we're previewing it, and something is wrong somewhere. So this is here. Make sure that's all ready. So there we go. So we've got the title, we've got who it's by. We can remove this. Remove the sales. The date created is just created at, and the price is fine, and the sales we can remove, and the reviews we can leave the reviews actually for now. So the description is fine, but the content is what we want here. And if we take a look, there we go. So we've got the description and the content. So if we wanted to update, let's say we wanted to go to the backend, and we wanted to update the content for that specific prompt. So we've got, which one is this one? So we want to say, we change something, we change that, publish. Now if we take a look, it just says, if we refresh, it just says movie website, exactly. Yeah, and then we change it back. It says a quick prompt on how to create a movie website with, publish that. Oh, sorry, got create, not create. And if we look at the published, we can see this is what it looks like. And if we wanted to add, more, we could add a, we could add headings. Let's say movie website, publish, and take a look here. Refresh the page. So it says a quick prompt on how to create a website, and the preview, movie website, etc. So that's, you know, connecting the front end with the back end. So we're going to do the same with this one. Emoji. You've got this time. You've got the price change, and there's more here. And if we go back, we can get the, oh, that's the movie website. I've done that one already. Digital marketplace. This one's changed. The price has changed here to $1.99, and we've got the preview, etc. So that's connecting our Strapi instance to the front end. And next, what we'll do now is add the ability to do a Stripe checkout, so people could actually buy these prompts. So I'm going to actually create a few more prompts just to, let's create a new one. Let's create a, what don't we have? So we have movie website, emoji quiz, basic marketplace. Let's say video application. Create a comprehensive application with YouTube vibes. Let's go Lauren Ipsum this time. Okay, and we're going to publish. It's called video application. And now if we take a look here and refresh the page. Oh, we didn't add an author, sorry. So I forgot that. So let's make sure we've got a price. Let's say $9.99. The category is going to be lovable. And the author is Petit Pois. And created at today. And we're going to publish. Okay, so we should refresh. And we should get video application. Here it is. Okay, excellent. So there you go. This is a nice way to create the front end. Obviously you could update. We've taken this from Lovable, so you could obviously change this as you like. But this is just an idea of how to get that. And you could also make a separate page to show all of the prompts. But at this time, I'm just going to use the front page here. You could use discover or explore a completely different page. If you didn't want that, we could change that in the header. Can remove that and just go to the selling, which we don't have yet. So if you had a page here and we said sell.astro and we added a layout, and you had a H1, sell your prompts, and now if we go here to sell, there it is, sell your prompts. So it could be like a simple dashboard. So we have div, mx of auto, and H1, login with GitHub. I have a video about how to do that, and we could copy simple styles from our first section here. So we could just copy this here. Sorry. This is what we can copy here. Okay. We can copy this and we can put it in the cell. Create a seller account. Start. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Okay, create a seller account. So you got home, create a seller account, and instead of fill out a form, it said login with GitHub to get started, and then we're going to add a button. And we're going to make sure we import that button from Tailwind, and we have a nice thing here. So we log in with GitHub. Excellent. So that all works. So then what we would need to do, which we would need to do with for Stripe anyway, is we need to add a folder under pages called API, and we're going to need another folder called auth, and let's say another folder, a file called login.ts, and we also need Stripe. Actually, no, we don't need the folder. We need to delete that. We'll do that in the next thing. So the login.ts. So all you need to do is in the astro.build, you could use clerk or Superbase or even Apprite to look at the documentation. So if we go to where is it? If we go to integration, third-party services, content management systems, we got Strapi somewhere here. There we go. Sorry, that's not what I want. We want to do the authentication. So backend services. This is it. So you've got Apprite as an option. You've got Superbase as well as an option to do login with GitHub. That's what I have a separate video on that. You even got a section here for authentication that could be used too. So that's your options to use. Going to use my own, obviously. but you can choose what you want. The documentation is all here on how to set up OAuth authentication. For me, I feel like Superbase is quite simple to straightforward, and even AppWrite 2 is straightforward to add a notification. But obviously, I think Clerk is also very easy to and straightforward to add as well. You can do a quick start, and they have a Astro section where they show how to add Clerk to your application. You might want to make sure this will work by making sure you have the SSR adapter. I usually use Netlify, but you could use Node in this case. And then you can create a authentication and follow the instructions here. So for example, you would want to make in this case a middleware section here. Okay, so that in the next tutorial we'll look into logging in and also adding the Stripe. Okay, welcome to the third session, adding the Stripe to our AI marketplace. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to make it so that when somebody clicks the add to cart button or buy now button, we actually create a Stripe checkout. I'm using a sandbox on Stripe, very simple to set up if you have a Stripe account. And under developers, you can get the API keys, which is what you're going to need. So when we click on this add to cart, we're going to want to create this Stripe session. So if we take a look at what we have so far. So I am going to walk you through everything. The first thing you need to do is to create a .env file with your Stripe secret key and publishable key, which again you can find here in your API keys. Obviously this isn't live, but if you wanted, obviously you update the API keys when you make this live. So what we will do is the Stripe secret key, the Stripe publishable key. Inside the package.json, I've installed Stripe, so that's literally just npm install Stripe, and that's kind of all you need to actually install Stripe onto the project, which is pretty straightforward. Make sure you have the .env file with the keys that you need. And then in our specific ID, we have a button that says add to cart, which will probably just change to buy now. And what we've done, we've added, this is the button, but we've wrapped it inside of a form. So the form as an action of API checkout and a method of post, has an input type of prompt ID, which is the ID that we're in, and it also has the prompt title and input there, it's hidden, and the prompt price. Yeah. So why we're doing that is we've made an API folder under pages, and we've created a checkout.ts file. So we import the API route, obviously the Stripe, then we're going to get the Stripe data. Actually, we don't actually need this. we'll keep it there. So we're creating a new Stripe instance, and then we're getting everything in the form. So we're getting the ID, the title, the price. We're converting the price to cents, and just double checking we have an ID. And then we're getting the data from Strapi. This prompt here. So it's doing that twice. So we might just get rid of this for now. Just comment this out for now. So it's basically doing the same thing twice. So we say const URL equals URL requested URL. And then we're going to create our Stripe checkout session. Oh, I see. We're just going to leave it as it was. So we're getting the prompt. We're getting the prompt from the Strapi library. And if we don't get it, we obviously get a prompt not found. And then we're going to get this is the Stripe session. So we've got the payment types, the line items, product data. So we've got the title, description, and the price in cents. The quantity is 1. The mode is payment. And when we would go to the success URL, it's going to give us the success plus the session ID and also the prompt ID, which is very important. And the metadata is the type and the prompt ID. And when everyone's all happy, we're going to redirect to the session.url, which is this. Okay. It's going to go to the Stripe checkout, and once the Stripe checkout is done, it's going to go to this success here. And if there's any errors, we're catching those too. Okay, so that's everything there. So delete this. If we take a look now, and I say buy now, it's going to take us to a Stripe checkout. We've got the name of what we're buying, how much it costs, and once we buy it, you're going to get this payment successful. Thank you for your purchase. And then we've got a little thing here where we can actually copy the whole prompt. So if we take a look at what that looks like, this is the success URL. So what we're doing, we're getting importing the button, the layout, and the card components. We're getting the prompt data from Strapi. We're getting the search params from the URL. We can get the session ID and the prompt ID. This is most important, is the prompt ID, because we're going to use the Strapi get prompt to actually get the prompt back. And we're going to say just simple H1, payment successful, and we're going to say copy to clipboard. And the card component here just has the title of the prompt and a button with an ID of ID of copy button, and make sure this is capital B as well. And it has an ID of copy button, and we have an ID of copy text here. This is just an SVG, you don't need that, but that's something to make it look nice. We get the little copy icon, which is basically this little icon here. And then we have a div, and this is the actual content of the prompt, and that's called prompt content div ID here. And then we have a little tip and a link to go back to the home page. So to make the copy to clipboard work, we are going to use inline scripting. So we're getting the copy button, the icon, we're not using the check icon, copy text, and the prompt content. So we're getting all those documents elements by ID. So if we click on the copy button, we're going to say text to copy is the prompt content not inner text or text content. And we use the navigator.clipboard to write the text. So basically, it's going to copy whatever's inside the prompt content div, and it's going to copy that for us. And this is just a fallback. We don't really need that. So I'm just going to remove this. We don't need the fallback. And we don't need this check icon here. And basically, if we clicked on the copy text, it's going to change the content to copied. So if we do that, it changes it to copied. Yeah. And then it waits 2 seconds, and then it changes it back to copy prompt. You could obviously change that to 5 or whatever. But yeah, that's the success. So we could even create a cancel Astro, and it will be very similar to that. So we say we'll put a layout, and we've got a div with a container, making sure that we center everything. We've got payment cancelled, and we say your payment has been cancelled, and we're going to put a button here. Return to home. So if we go back, we want to make sure got it cancelled. Sure. Okay. You click buy now. We go back. Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay, so we do have the cancel to Astro. We're going to make sure that the cancel URL has cancel and then cancelled equals true. So now what should happen is when we click back, so we're not going to buy it, we go to payment cancelled, and we go back to the home page. So there you go. That's how to get Stripe working. I would suggest maybe even adding a webhook where once the payment has been successful, we save the user data into a database like AppWrite or Superbase, or whatever solution you decide to choose. This essentially is a very basic way of adding Stripe to the account. So, for example, let me do this, and I'm going to go test.test.com. I'm going to use the 42, and it's 04, 42, 444, petit pois, and I click pay just to show you what happens. So we say it's connected to the Stripe, and it says payment successful. Thank you for your purchase. Copy prompt, and if I just show you what it copies, exactly what I've copied from here. So obviously you could actually have the full thing here, and like I said, you'd probably want to keep track of how many people download or buy this specific prompt, so you'd probably want to keep that in a database, but that was just a simple way of adding Stripe to your account project. And if we look here, all these successful logs, and if I look at my transactions, you can see that this person has bought, and these are the different Stripe sessions, and this is the email that has been used, this is what they bought, etc. So now it's not going to show us the cancel because I didn't add the webhook, but you could obviously add the webhook, and that would, it doesn't work locally. I mean, you can obviously do it so that it does work locally, but in my experience I found that once you, the webhook usually works well once everything's been deployed on a live server. So yeah, thank you for watching, and this has been a nice way of creating the AI marketplace. Obviously you could enhance it even more by adding the sellers section where you can log in and create your own account. Again, that would require a database, and using login you could use Clerk for login. That's a very simple way of adding, and I have a few tutorial on that using AppWrite and Clerk, how you can add that to your project. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful to get you started, and thanks. Please like and subscribe for more tutorials, and see you soon.